First of all, one of the reasons politicians are not respected is that our society has achieved its goals of encouraging people to speak out. The decline of efficacy, women are far more prepared to speak out, ethnic groups are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have much more debate, much more informed debate. An inevitable consequence of that is that the institutions, which used to provide most of our thinking on most questions, are much less relevant. And they have run into their own trouble. You have an Enron, you have the papal scandals, you have all of this kind of stuff going on. You have political parties that are more and more defined by graft. You have a change in the public attitude towards the public good, which is so insistent on accountability that it forgets that governments can do good things as well as bad. That's point one. And that is partly a result, largely a result, I think, of our having a more democratic, call it populist society. The other is more difficult for us, and this is only my view. The theory of the parliamentary system is that members of parliament are elected to hold the government accountable. And the result of that is that in any election which elects 308 members of parliament, maybe 25 of those will go into a cabinet, maybe 30, where they have theoretically the power to initiate. In fact, 8 have the power to initiate. So 300 to 8. System says that's fine. The 300 hold the 8 accountable. I was elected 8 times to the House of Commons. No one ever voted for me so that I could hold someone else accountable. People voted for me to initiate things. So there is a substantial dysfunction between the public's view of what their elected members do and the system's view. And that's not just party leaders. Public servants for a long time would not brief opposition members of parliamentary caucuses, parliamentary committees. It was a well-established rule for a long, long time, because that's not their responsibility. Is to Parliament indirectly. They report to a minister. The minister reports to Parliament. If the minister says, you, Deputy Minister, go over and straighten these guys out on the GST, that's a different situation. But if people are looking at a value-added tax and they want to call among their experts the Deputy Minister of Finance, that's a very hard thing to do. And that's what the system says. That's the Westminster system. So you have, at a time when the public is already getting more cynical about politicians, you have people who are prohibited by their system from taking initiatives which would either enhance their own worth or might better reflect their constituents. And that second problem is a really tough one to deal with. I don't think it's insuperable, but I don't think we've looked at it. Because our experts, the people whose advice we would normally seek, believe so profoundly in the parliamentary system, as they should. What's interesting is that other systems, other variants of Westminster, do it a little better than we do. The Alberta government consults Alberta. I don't know them now. When Lougheed was premier, the government caucus was consulted far more on individual pieces of legislation before they came to the legislature. I think that's still the case. The opposition was not. So a big fault in that is that, but nonetheless, it was better than what we had here. The UK has had better ways for MPs to be involved in decision-making. But there's this fundamental dysfunction, particularly in more populist countries like us, like Australia. There is this sense that members are elected to initiate, and the system makes it very difficult.